everyone, my name is Eddie and I am a trauma therapist who specializes in trauma, stress, and anxiety. So in today's video, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to I'm going to sort of go a little personal in terms of what we are going to do in this video, which is decluttering. So part of my motivation to do this is to inspire you and encourage you to do some decluttering if you need to do that. So I will say to you that, as someone who specializes in trauma and stress, one of the things that I know just in my practice and actually for myself, and I think as human beings, we all recognize the clutter is not good for our mental health. And so I try to be really good about that, but I will just be honest and say that I have not been, right? I am a mom of two kids, a 4.5-year-old and a 13 months now. She just turned 1 in June, so this is July. And I am just overwhelmed, right? I just am overwhelmed. We got back from vacation a couple of weeks ago. We went to the beach for a week, and when we got back and we have all this beach stuff that had to go in the garage, and it was just an S show. It was just awful, right? And we were overwhelmed, my husband and I. And, we had been talking about doing some spring cleaning and doing all that stuff, and we just never got to it because life, right? We just couldn't put our finger on why is there so much stuff? And then I realized in part, having a 1-year-old, has stuff everywhere. It's all big stuff, which is overwhelming to me to begin with. But she's getting older and there's baby stuff that we still haven't gotten rid of. And there's just stuff my son's toy, he's into a different phase of toys and we haven't gotten rid of toys, and so more stuff keeps coming in, but really little stuff is going out. And because you say to yourself, I just need to sit and have time to do it, and then of course then you never have time. So I had said to myself, now mind you, this is 2 weeks ago now, right? I said to my husband, we're gonna start to declutter because this is ridiculous. I don't want to go into the fall back to school, but I mean, my kids are in daycare, but it's still, you want to get into the routine of getting into these good habits, nighttime routine, but just feeling like you're not feeling cluttered. For me as a therapist, I am trying to think about other income streams, if you will, or other businesses that I'm interested in, that I'm exploring right now, and I can't bring in more if I'm not really getting rid of these other things from the past, right? And so for me, it is really forcing myself to sit down. And again, I say this to myself all the time, and I do it all the time. I give myself 5 minutes, 10 minutes, set a timer. I'm really good about that. But somehow trying to deal with baby stuff or just office stuff or just paperwork, it's just overwhelming. So I said, you know what, today is going to be the day that I'm going to record myself getting rid of some stuff, and I'm going to challenge myself and challenge you to do this with me while I'm going to say 10 minutes, right? It's 10:14 right now as we speak. You can't see it on my watch, but you can't see that, but it's 10:14, right? And we're just going to go through some stuff. Now, as a therapist who recognizes that, why don't we just do it? Just get rid of it. What's the problem? I recognize that we have a hard time getting rid of things because things carry an emotional charge. We want to just be this is ridiculous. But I know that I could look at a spoon and it just be a spoon to me. But to the other person, it's oh, that was the spoon my mom cooked with, or that was the first spoon my kid ate out of. There's an emotional charge to things. So it's very hard to get rid of the stuff. It's not that easy. But a lot of times what we will do then is that we won't tackle anything because the one thing carries an emotional charge. And so my job here, and I'm going to go through baby stuff and you're going to see this in real time, right? My job is to just give myself 10 minutes and to see what actually I can call and what I can get rid of, and then deal with the emotional stuff that I'm not able to get rid of, at a later date. So everything is in baby steps. Everything is in these pockets of time. I am not choosing to like do the Marie Kondo method where it's like just bring everything out and then deal with it in real time. I'm not in that place right now, right? Like I have 10 minutes before, I have to get ready for my sessions. And then, so it's going to be emotional. So, the fact that I'm choosing to do an emotional activity before I have to then be grounded for my clients, but that's what I have to do. That's what I often have to do. I have to compartmentalize. And so I'm saying to you, I understand that sometimes things are hard and things are emotional, but we can do this. And so I'm going to show you in real time the ability to do that. So one of the things that I have decided to do, and these were in pockets, right? Every time my daughter would put on a piece of clothing and it didn't fit, instead of just shoving it back in the drawer, I'm gonna be honest, I threw it on the floor. And then at night when it was bedtime routine, I knew that stuff was like she couldn't fit in it anymore. And then I put it in a hamper. And then I just kept doing that, right? Like, and I'm gonna be honest, it was like even from Christmas time, there was stuff that I was just like, she's not fitting into this. This is like, this is gonna be for a 9-month-old. She's gonna be 12, like it's just not gonna fit. And so I would put it on the floor, and then at night I would just put it in the hamper, and then I would every so often just go into that hamper and just decide what I wanted to do with the stuff. So some of it would go to Goodwill, some of it would go in the garbage if there were stains, and some of it like I just could not get rid of. So I'm gonna do the same exercise here. So I have a bunch of clothes, a bunch of things. I don't even know what's in here, like, to be honest, right? I have a bunch of stuff that I had in this hamper that I'm gonna go through, and then there's a bunch, and then this is gonna go to Goodwill, and then the other stuff is gonna go on the floor in the garbage, and then we're gonna be done with it. So I'm giving myself 5 minutes to just see what I can get done. So part of the exercise is, this is what you do. You grab an item, right? And you look at it, and this has a memory to it. I go to Martha's Vineyard every other year, and I'm getting emotional, like already talking about it, right? So I go to Martha's Vineyard every other year, and I get something from Black Dog, which is like their store there. And I'm already getting emotional because I think about Martha's Vineyard, and it makes me very happy, right? And so I think I got this when I was pregnant with her. I don't even remember, but I just remember getting a onesie because I was like, this is for my baby. This might have even been my son's. This is how it goes to show you. I don't even remember the actual memory, but just picking up this onesie is making me emotional. And I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time with this. So I'm gonna put it in my lap. I'm not gonna deal with it right now because I can't, right? And that's fine. And so I'm putting it to the side. I can't emotionally make a decision about this. I can pick up this other onesie and have no emotional attachment to it whatsoever, right? And I'm like, it's clean. It looks like it could be reused. It's gonna go into the donut pile. I have a receiving blanket. So one of the things too that I think about is here's an activity, here's something you can try, is that if you're not sure how you feel about something, close your eyes and bring it close to your heart. And notice if you feel an emotional connection to it or not. I'm not feeling an emotional connection to this, so it's gonna go in the back. Another receiving blanket that I got, she's not gonna use anymore, going in the bag. Here is another, looks like a burp cloth. I don't need it, going in the bag. And you can see that I'm able to not, something about that I'm not able to get rid of. This, no problem. This is creating emotional charge for me, so that's going to the side. This is going. This is creating an emotional charge for me. It's creating an emotional charge for me. Now, mind you, it is stained. It has absolutely no use for me, but it is reminding me of someone that I care about very much, and I can't get rid of it. This can go. This is creating an emotional charge. And I'm recognizing that this is reminding me of my son and what it was like to be a first-time mom. And it's hard. But I recognize that this is not sort of like powerful. It's just reminding me, it's just bringing me to the days where I was just navigating life as a first-time mom and how hard it was. And yeah, it was hard. But it's not like, oh, I remember I brought him home in this blanket and so I have to keep it. It just brings up memories, but I don't feel the need to keep it. These are old outfits. Another burp cloth. Another onesie. Get rid of. And, oh. This was the hat she had on, my baby, when she was in the hospital, and one of the great nurses made this little hat for her, and I can't get rid of it, and that's okay. So it's going off to the side. Okay, one more. So this is a onesie. Again, it's interesting, right? Like Lavalette is my other happy place. We go there every year. And I love Lavalette, but I feel no like emotional connection to this onesie. And so it can go. So you can see, now mind you, what's left in here are toys, right? It's just toys that I could hypothetically go through and get rid of, you know, like a Darth Vader hat. My son loved Darth Vader, and I love that he loves it, and this was like one of his first masks, but I have no emotional connection to it, so it's gonna go in the garbage. That's gonna go on the floor. Shark thing, garbage. There's all these little toys, these little action figures. I have no emotional attachment to that. So it's going. There's this action figure. I don't even know where this stuff comes from. Going in the garbage. This little tattered Little Red Barn. It's tattered. Look how jacked up this thing is. I remember reading this to my son every night when he was a baby. And it's tattered, but I'm not getting rid of it. So, just goes to show you, this my baby daughter can still, I mean, she's not a baby, but she's a 1-year-old, but she can still play with it. And it reminds me of my son, so I can reuse it. I'm not getting rid of it. So, a bunch of this stuff is going back. And again, now I don't know how many pieces I went through, but like, I'm keeping this stuff for now. I don't know yet. Yes, the problem with this is that I'm gonna have to then go through this at another moment to actually then deal with it, either the emotional, whatever it is, or put it in a box or something, a keepsake box for my children to maybe have in the future. But I've gone from like this to this, and this is okay. Now the other part of this is that I'm gonna then have to make a keepsake box, which I can do, but now I'm like less overwhelmed because I know that the stuff that I kept, I have an emotional connection to, and I'm going to keep it, and so that's fine, and so that's okay. And then it's one of those things where if I say to my kids, when I hand them this keepsake box, that it was like this just reminded me of you, or whatever the case is, or maybe a year from now I'm gonna look at the keepsake box and be like, I have no emotional connection to it and I could get rid of it, like, so be it, then it's fine. But for now, I've done some really good work, in my opinion, to just get rid of stuff, and so I want to encourage you to do the same thing. And that took about, I don't even know, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, but either way, I've got some stuff done. Now I know this is gonna go in the garage. In my trunk, because it's gonna go to Goodwill tomorrow, and then the other stuff can go in the trash, and then that's it. So I hope this was super helpful for you. I just wanted you to know that, like, part of the challenge in this process is that, yeah, there's an emotional charge to some of your stuff, but it's not impossible. And there's also things that you can do. So I'm inspiring you to get into an area, tackle some stuff, deal with the emotional component, and but you got this, you can do this, right? We just did this together. And so I hope that I have encouraged you to declutter, do a little bit of decluttering. So if this was helpful, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.